Hey, good morning. Now, Espresso is the name India's largest auto manufacturer. Maruti Suzuki is its maker, and a first-time car buyer across many different cities in our country is its taker. This is a bright new bonsai car that we start our day with in Jodhpur. My name is Rohan. Your name is awesome. Welcome to Power Drift. A bonsai car like this, it doesn't need us to ask any big questions. Life is simple. It needs to be practical, spacious, and just like yourself, it needs to keep up with the times.
Maruti Suzuki Espresso then gets a 7-inch touchscreen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto steering mounted audio controls, USB charging, voice controls, and a 12-volt accessory socket.
Oh, and I almost forgot, one needs this car to be good looking so that it looks as pretty to you as you do to yourself when you look into the mirror every morning. But that also means that there are going to be days when you're not happy with the way you look, while on other days and from different angles, you will think that you are the king of the world.
And helping you feel like the king of the world are some cool accessories like a chrome front grille, LED DRLs, SUV-like body cladding, front and rear skid plates, a high seating position and 180 mm of ground clearance.
Whether you start your day looking into the mirror or not, you will certainly start your day with a smile in the Espresso. The big round circle here in the center, a la Mini Cooper, greets you to the interiors, and so does the layered, well thought out dash. It's one of those cars that doesn't really get an instrument cluster here behind the steering wheel, and one of those cars that don't get power window buttons on the door, but you rather have them here on the dash. It's also one of those cars that moves forward with an automatic gearbox. What are we waiting on? On the grand, majestic, open, sprawling, free-flowing highways of Rajasthan in Jodhpur, where we get to talk about the 1-litre K-Series BS6 compliant engine churning out 67 horses, 90 Nm of torque, and in the manual variant of the Espresso, that leads to the Espresso being a peppy, powerful car. And that's mainly down to the car just weighing 800 kgs, which is 726 kgs to be precise, which makes me think that an alternate good name for this car could have been the Maruti Suzuki Bonsai 800. You do feel that the edge is taken off there, of course, because of the AMT transmission, AGS, which however happens to be better than AGS transmission that we have seen in the earlier Maruti cars. You do feel like you're sitting in a mini SUV, so I think Maruti is right when they call it a mini SUV. They may not be right when they position it as a mini SUV. That would have been the Jimny.
This bonsai car comes in 6 new bright colors. I like it in blue and in red.
You get independent front suspension, you have torsion beam at the rear, so the ride quality is never going to be like that of an SUV. It is more like a hatch. In fact, the car also turns like a hatch. It has the smallest turning radius in its segment as claimed by Maruti. That should come in very handy in city driving conditions and bumper-to-bumper traffic, which means as the road gets tough, the ride for you is going to get bumpy, like is the case for auto manufacturers these days. Braking duties are handled by ventilated discs up front and drum brakes at the back. I feel that the braking could have been slightly better, or rather that the car could have stopped faster. But then again, 726 kgs weight means that you're not really struggling when it comes to braking. In the top-end variant, you have 14-inch wheels. Of course, as you go down the variants, you start getting 13-inch wheels. Boot space is a place where you could be a little disappointed because the Espresso gets 240 litres of boot space, while as the competing Quid is 300 litres of boot space. Fuel efficiency numbers are also quite through the roof for a car like this. I quite like that. 21.4 kilometers to a litre, that's in the manual variant, and 21.7 kilometers to a litre, that's the automatic variant. Over the years, Maruti Suzuki has really had a monopoly when it came to this subcompact segment. Every time an Alto or an 800 got launched, we all sat up and took notice of it like we all do when a Leonardo DiCaprio movie gets launched, or like we all do when a season of IPL goes live. But the quids and the tribals today are hunting the Alto all day long, and so Maruti Suzuki had to stand their ground with a value proposition like this. If I were to walk into the showroom to buy an Alto and see this standing next to it, I would dive into the space that this car has on offer without any second thought, and that I feel is the biggest USP. This car really has a lot of space on offer. If I were to sit in the back seat or in the front seat, I can manage to do that without really rubbing my knees against the dash or against the back of the front seat. What I don't like about the car is the suspension. If you go fast into fast sweeping corners, the car tends to wallow far too much. It is not confidence inspiring. But then again, that's not what the car here is meant to do. That's not how you should use this car. Different people, different tastes. My point is this: whether you like caffeine or not, if you go out on a test drive of this car, I'm certain that you will end up liking the espresso. Thanks a lot for watching Power Trip, folks. It was great fun to be driving this car in Jodhpur. It will be great fun to catch you guys back again on Power Trip. Goodbye. 3, 2, 1 and action. Subcompact seg. अरे यार थोड़ा flow लाता हूँ. How we said. Are hunting. Now it's not a blooper. He's already in it. And action. Different people, different takes. Different people in different takes. Goodbye.